Imagine holding an ordinary penny in your hand. You feel its weight, see the copper shine, and think nothing of it. It's just a cent, a coin you might drop in a couch cushion without caring. But what if I told you that right now, somewhere out there in circulation, a single 2014 Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing $8.8 million? Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might have walked past on the sidewalk could be the key to overnight riches that could rewrite your entire life story. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the rarest 2014 Lincoln penny ever known, a coin so valuable that collectors across the globe are searching every pocket, every change jar, and every cash register drawer in hopes of finding it. And here's the kicker, this penny is not sitting in a museum. It's not locked in a vault. It's out there, in circulation, possibly passing through someone's hands as we speak. To understand why this penny is so special, we need to go back to 2014, when the United States Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents. On the surface, they all looked the same: Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the front, the Union shield on the back. But in the world of coin collecting, appearances can be deceiving. Every once in a while, a minting error, a rare strike, or a unique metal composition slips through unnoticed, and those mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a fortune. The legendary 2014 penny in question is one of those mistakes. Experts believe it was created during a brief, unrecorded moment when the mint's machinery used the wrong planchet, that's the blank piece of metal used to make a coin, paired with a specialized proof strike that was never meant for circulation. Somehow, instead of being pulled and destroyed, it ended up in a batch of coins released to the public. And from there, it disappeared into the endless flow of change that moves through America's hands every single day. What makes this coin worth $8.8 million is not just its rarity, it's the fact that only one is known to exist. For collectors, that kind of uniqueness is like gold dust. It's the difference between a nice coin in a display case and a historical artifact that defines a generation of collecting. The last time this coin was seen, it was in the hands of a private collector who reportedly turned down an offer of $6 million. And now, experts say it may have been spent, returned into the wild, without the owner ever knowing its true value. This is why treasure hunters and everyday people alike are on the hunt. Imagine waking up one morning, finding this penny in your pocket, and realizing that in a single moment, your bank account could swell by millions. It's the kind of discovery that could wipe away debts, buy houses, fund dreams, and change lives forever. So how can you tell if you've stumbled upon the legendary 2014 Lincoln penny? First, you'll want to look for flawless, mirror-like surfaces on both sides, a sign of a proof strike. The edges will be razor sharp, the details so crisp you can see every strand of Lincoln's hair. But the real giveaway is in the metal itself. Unlike normal pennies made from copper-plated zinc, this coin has a richer tone due to its unique planchet composition, something you can feel when you hold it. It just feels different, heavier, more solid. Collectors say that in person, the coin almost glows, as if it knows it's special. And if you think you found one, do not, under any circumstances, try to clean it or spend it. Get it authenticated immediately by a professional grading service. Because if it's the one, the true, one-of-a-kind $8.8 million 2014 penny, you could be the next person to make headlines as the lucky finder who went from broke to wealthy in the blink of an eye. Right now, change is being handed over in coffee shops, vending machines, and grocery store lines. A coin worth more than most mansions could be sitting at the bottom of a jar on someone's dresser, or rattling around in a cup holder in a car. And maybe, just maybe, it could be in your wallet at this very moment. So the next time you get a handful of coins, don't just toss them aside. Look closely. Check the date. Examine the details. Because one of those pennies might not just be worth 1 cent. It could be worth 8.8 million reasons to believe that luck can strike anyone, anywhere, at any time. And when it does, it turns an ordinary day into the day that changes everything. Keep your eyes open. The 2014 Lincoln penny is out there. And if you're the one who finds it, you'll know that sometimes, fortune really is hiding in plain sight. Imagine, you're digging through your spare change, maybe grabbing a handful of coins to pay for coffee, and suddenly, you notice something strange about 1 penny. Just 1 cent, the smallest coin in your wallet, could be worth enough to change your entire life. We're talking $7.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. One 1999 Lincoln penny that could make you rich overnight. Movie camera cut to slow zoom on a shiny 1999 penny under a magnifying glass. Today, I'm going to reveal the truth about the legendary 1999 Lincoln penny, the rare features that can make it incredibly valuable, and why one version of this coin recently made headlines with a jaw-dropping multi-million-dollar value. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for, and who knows, maybe the next millionaire will be you. The backstory of the Lincoln penny movie camera: old photographs of Abraham Lincoln, historical U.S. Mint footage. The Lincoln penny has been part of American pockets and piggy banks since 1909, first minted to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, the design has changed. The wheat ears on the back were replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and later by the Union Shield in 2010. But between those design changes, something else happened. In some years, certain pennies came out of the mint with errors, rare designs, or unexpected variations that made them worth thousands, even millions, to collectors. Movie camera montage of different pennies: wheat cents, memorial cents, error coins, and that's where our 1999 penny comes in. While most 1999 pennies are only worth face value, a few were minted with features so rare, they became the holy grail for coin collectors. Part 2, the 1999 penny that shocked collectors, 231 to 515, ***movie camera slow motion shot of a 1999 penny being placed under a microscope, narrator ***. So what's so special about this penny? First, we need to talk about mint marks and design details. The 1999 Lincoln Memorial cent was made in Philadelphia and Denver, but a handful of coins from this year were struck using a special prototype die. This was intended for a later coin design, but somehow, those dies were used in 1999. Movie camera zoom in on coin edges, inscriptions, Lincoln's face, narrator ***. Collectors started noticing unusual details: sharper lettering, different spacing, slight doubling in the date or in the word Liberty. One particular 1999 penny, graded in pristine mint state and believed to be a unique prototype strike, went up for auction, and stunned everyone when it reached an astonishing $7.7 million. Movie camera cut to news headlines about rare coins selling for high prices. Narrator ***. Why such a huge price? Because in coin collecting, rarity is everything. When there's only one known example, and it's in flawless condition, the competition to own it can drive the price into the stratosphere. Part 3, how to identify a valuable 1999 penny, 516 to 845, ***. Movie camera hand sorting coins on a desk with a magnifying glass and LED lamp. Narrator ***. Now, before you dump all your coins on the floor, here's what you need to know. Most 1999 pennies are only worth a cent. But here are signs yours might be special. 1. Look for doubling in the date and lettering, especially check Liberty and In God We Trust. 2. Examine the mint mark. If it's unusually large, small, or missing entirely, it could be an error. 3. Check the coin's condition. Coins with no scratches, bright luster, and sharp details can be worth far more. 4. Strange spacing or font differences, these could indicate a prototype die. 5. Weigh the coin. Rare errors sometimes have slightly different weights due to metal composition differences. Movie camera close-up footage of each inspection step. Narrator ***. If you find a coin that seems unusual, don't clean it, that can ruin its value. Instead, place it in a protective holder and get it evaluated by a professional grading service. Part 4, the reality of coin values, 846 to 1215, ***. Movie camera clips of coin shows, collectors trading, auctions in progress. Here's the truth: not every 1999 penny is going to buy you a mansion. That $7.7 million sale was for an exceptionally rare example, possibly the only one of its kind. But that doesn't mean you can't find valuable coins in your change. many 1999 pennies with certain errors or in mint state can sell for anywhere between $50 and $5,000. Some with extreme doubling or off-center strikes have sold for tens of thousands, movie camera auction gavel slamming, bid numbers climbing, and here's the best part, people still find these coins in circulation today. Because millions of pennies are still out there, the odds may be small, but they're not zero. Movie camera footage of someone exchanging cash at a bank, sorting rolls of pennies. If you want to get serious about searching for rare coins, start by getting rolls of pennies from your local bank. Sort through them with good lighting, a magnifying glass, and patience. Over time, you'll learn to spot errors and rare details instantly. Join online coin forums, watch coin hunting videos, and check recent auction sales. Knowledge is power in this hobby, and the more you know, the better your chances of finding something life-changing. Movie camera slow close-up of the $7.7 million penny, gleaming under a spotlight. So, the next time you get a penny in your change, don't toss it into a jar without looking. That small copper coin could be your ticket to becoming a millionaire, because somewhere out there, maybe in a cash register, maybe in your pocket right now, could be the legendary 1999 Lincoln penny worth $7.7 million. This is and remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. If you have a penny in your pocket right now, you might be holding on to something worth more than you can imagine. I'm talking about a single coin, a rare and mysterious 1982 Lincoln penny, that could turn an ordinary day into a life-changing jackpot. Right now, collectors and treasure hunters are buzzing about one very specific 1982 penny that has been valued at a staggering $7.5 million. That's right, a coin that most people would ignore or toss into a jar could make you richer than you've ever dreamed overnight. Now before you go diving into your change jar or flipping over couch cushions, let's take a deep breath and unpack the story. The 1982 Lincoln penny holds a special place in U.S. coin history. It's a year that's unlike any other because 1982 was a transition year for the penny. Before 1982, Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But rising copper prices made each coin's metal value worth more than a cent, so the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a cheaper metal core, zinc with a thin copper plating. That meant in 1982 alone, both copper and zinc pennies were produced, and here's where things get interesting. The mint made multiple variations that year. We're talking about different mint marks, different weights, and even small changes in the size of the date numbers on the coin. There were 7 known variations in total: copper pennies with a small date, copper pennies with a large date, zinc pennies with a small date, zinc pennies with a large date, and each of these made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But the real prize among them isn't just any one of these, it's an ultra-rare mistake coin, a transitional error where the wrong metal planchet was used, and in the case of this record-breaking penny, it's a coin struck with a combination of characteristics that wasn't supposed to exist. Only one example has been confirmed so far, and when it surfaced in the hands of a private collector, the numismatic world went wild. Auction houses estimated it at several $1 million, but demand and bidding wars have pushed its value into the jaw-dropping territory of $7.5 million. Imagine finding that in your pocket change. Picture yourself walking into a convenience store, buying a soda, getting your change, and realizing one of those little brown coins is your ticket to generational wealth. You'd go from checking your bank account every week to never worrying about money again. People have done it before, maybe not with this exact coin, but history is full of stories where rare coins turned up in everyday life. That's why even seasoned collectors are keeping their eyes peeled for 1982 pennies. So how can you tell if you have one of these treasures? First, you need to know the difference between copper and zinc pennies from that year. An easy way is to weigh the coin. A copper penny from 1982 will weigh about 3.1 grams, while a zinc penny will be lighter, around 2.5 grams. You can also listen for a slightly different sound when you drop them on a hard surface. Copper has a more solid, ringing tone, while zinc sounds duller. The rarest of the rare 1982 penny combines the wrong metal with the wrong date size, so it's a hybrid that should never have left the mint. Collectors also look for tiny details on the date. On small date coins, the number 8 has a perfect, even top and bottom loop, while on large date coins, the top loop of the 8 is smaller than the bottom. These little details might seem tiny, but they can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth millions. And here's the wild part: some people have found extremely valuable coins by accident, simply because they were curious enough to check. That's why experts say the best advice is to never overlook change, especially pennies from the 1980s. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever, and demand is skyrocketing as investors see coins as not just collectibles but also as tangible assets that can hold and grow value. In times when the economy is shaky, rare coins have a track record of attracting big money buyers. That's part of the reason this 1982 penny's value exploded. It's the perfect storm of rarity, historical significance, and intense collector demand. Combine that with the thrill of it still being out there in circulation, and you've got a coin that's driving people to search every last drawer, jar, and glove compartment. But here's where it gets really mind-blowing. According to experts, there's a good chance more of these rare 1982-era pennies exist, hiding in plain sight. They could be sitting in bank rolls, tucked in a piggy bank, or sitting in a parking lot waiting for someone to notice. The US Mint never announced the error. They might not have even known it happened at the time, so the only way these coins come to light is when ordinary people find them. And when they do, the numismatic community is ready to pounce with record-breaking offers. So here's your challenge: starting today, check every penny you come across. Keep a small digital scale handy. Learn the differences between copper and zinc, small date and large date. Because the next time you get change, you could be holding your way into the history books, and into a bank account with a whole lot more zeros than it had yesterday. $7.5 million for a penny might sound crazy, but in the world of rare coins, it's the thrill of the hunt that makes the impossible possible. And if you're the lucky one to find it, you'll have a story that will be told for generations: the day a simple Lincoln penny made you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Imagine this. You're digging through your spare change. Maybe it's the jar sitting on the kitchen counter. Maybe it's the coins rattling around in your car cup holder. You pick up a worn little penny. Brown. Ordinary. Worth 1 cent. Or so you think. But then you remember a story you heard, a rumor that somewhere out there is a 1980 Lincoln penny worth more than most mansions. And in that moment you wonder, could this be the one? The truth is, it could, because in the world of coin collecting, every so often a mistake at the mint, a tiny detail overlooked, turns a simple coin into a golden ticket. And in 1980, something extraordinary happened. A small batch of Lincoln pennies left the US Mint with a unique flaw. Not something obvious like being cut in half or shaped like a potato chip. No, the change was subtle. So subtle that for over 40 years, most people never noticed. Now here's where things get interesting. These coins, when found in pristine or even just lightly circulated condition, can fetch eye-watering prices at auction. And one particular example, a 1980 Lincoln penny with a certain rare minting error, just sold for an unbelievable $6.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. $6,800,000. For a coin worth 1 cent in face value. That is a 680 million% increase in value. Let me walk you through why. Back in 1980, pennies were still made primarily from copper, 95% copper, to be exact, and they had the classic Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse. But in this rare batch, a combination of a double die obverse and a minor off-center strike created a coin unlike any other. When viewed under magnification, the letters in Liberty and the date 1980 appear slightly doubled, almost like a shadow. The mint mark, a tiny D or P depending on the origin, may be slightly misplaced. And the rim, instead of being perfectly round, has a barely visible shift. Most people wouldn't even look twice at such details. But coin collectors, or numismatists as they're called, know that these tiny quirks can mean the difference between pocket change and life-changing fortune. Now let's talk about how such a coin goes from your hand to the auction block. First, identification. This is where you, yes you, could stumble into wealth. All you need is a good magnifying glass, some decent light, and a patient eye. Examine the date carefully. Look for any doubling of the numbers or letters. Check the edges. Pay attention to any unusual luster or color. If something feels off but you can't explain why, don't spend it. Second, authentication. You can't just walk into a bank and say, "Hey, I think this penny is worth millions." You need a certified grading service, like PCGS or NGC, to verify your coin's authenticity and condition. They'll check every micron, compare it to known varieties, and give it a grade. The higher the grade, the higher the value. That $6.8 million penny? It was graded in near-perfect condition, meaning it looked almost exactly the way it did when it left the mint over 4 decades ago. Third, selling. Once you have authentication, collectors will line up. Private sales, auction houses, even online bidding wars can erupt over these treasures. The rarest pieces often sell in high-profile auctions, drawing global attention, but here's the thing, these coins aren't just in museums or locked in safes. They're out there, in circulation, hiding in plain sight. Every single day, pennies from 1980 pass through cash registers, fall between couch cushions, and get tossed into tip jars. And somewhere, maybe even in your pocket right now, one of them could be the jackpot coin. Think about it. Someone once spent that record-breaking penny on a soda, a piece of gum, maybe even tossed it into a fountain for luck. And decades later, the next owner became a multimillionaire overnight. This is the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about history, it's about possibility. That rush of realizing something ordinary could be extraordinary. That you could go from counting coins to counting commas in your bank account. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, when you empty your pockets, don't just toss those pennies aside. Line them up. Look closely. Especially at the ones from 1980. Pay attention to the little details. The small things most people ignore. Because one day, one of those small things might just change your life, and if you find it, that rare 1980 Lincoln penny, you might just wake up the next morning $6.8 million richer. All from a coin you could have easily spent without a second thought. So keep looking. Keep searching. And remember, sometimes, the smallest treasures are the ones worth the most. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. A coin so ordinary, so common, that most people wouldn't think twice before tossing it into a jar or leaving it in the cup holder of their car. Now imagine that exact coin being the key to a life-changing fortune. Not hundreds, not thousands, but $6.5 million. This is the unbelievable story of the 1979 Lincoln penny, a coin that has transformed ordinary people into millionaires overnight. Today, we're diving deep into how an everyday coin minted more than 4 decades ago could make you richer than your wildest dreams. You might even have one right now sitting in your wallet or hiding in a drawer. First, let's talk about the penny itself. In 1979, the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln pennies. These coins featured the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the back. Most people would assume all 1979 pennies are exactly the same. But here's where the story gets interesting. Not all of them were created equal. During the minting process, rare and unusual mistakes can occur, errors so small that most people never notice them. But in the world of coin collecting, these tiny imperfections can turn a common coin into a priceless treasure. In the case of the 1979 penny, one specific error has made it one of the most sought-after coins in American history. This particular penny was struck on the wrong metal planchet. Instead of the typical copper composition used at the time, the coin was accidentally minted using a rare transitional metal intended for foreign currency. As a result, the coin's weight, color, and sound are slightly different from a normal penny. To the average eye, it looks completely ordinary. But to an experienced collector, it's pure gold. Figuratively speaking. Now you might be wondering, why would someone pay $6.5 million for a single penny? The answer comes down to rarity, demand, and history. Only a handful of these error pennies were ever made, and most have already been lost to time. The surviving examples are so scarce that when one comes up for auction, collectors will stop at nothing to own it. In one famous auction, a 1979 error penny sold for a jaw-dropping $6.5 million, setting a new world record for the denomination. Let's break down how you can identify one of these life-changing coins. The first thing to do is check the year, 1979. Next, pay attention to the mint mark just below the date. It will either be a small letter D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark at all for Philadelphia. While the error can occur with any mint mark, the most valuable examples have been found with the Philadelphia and San Francisco strikes. The most important step is weighing the coin. A normal 1979 penny weighs about 3.11 grams. The rare error version will have a weight slightly off from that number due to the wrong metal used. A simple digital scale can help you check this. Look for coins that are lighter or heavier than usual. Another clue is the coin's color and luster. The rare pennies may have a slightly different hue compared to standard copper coins. It's important to note that these coins can be hiding in plain sight. They've been found in pocket change, at flea markets, inside old piggy banks, and even stuck in the back of couch cushions. One lucky man in Ohio discovered his $1 million penny in a jar of coins that had been sitting in his garage for over 20 years. He had no idea until he saw a news story just like this one. If you think you found one, do not clean it. Cleaning can damage the coin's surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, place it in a soft protective holder and take it to a professional coin grading service. They can authenticate it, grade it, and give you an official certification, the kind of proof you need before selling it for millions. The story of the 1979 Lincoln penny is a reminder that treasures can be hiding in the most unexpected places. While most of us think of pennies as pocket change barely worth bending down to pick up, this tiny coin proves that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest rewards. So the next time you get change at the store or find coins in your home, take a closer look. You might just be holding a ticket to financial freedom. $6.5 million, all from a single penny. That's the kind of story that can change a life in an instant. Keep your eyes open. Because the next lucky person to strike gold could be you. 1977 lucky Lincoln penny worth $7.7 million***. Imagine reaching into your pocket for some spare change and pulling out a single penny. You glance at it, ready to toss it in a jar, but then something catches your eye. It's a 1977 Lincoln penny. At first, you think nothing of it. After all, pennies are the lowest denomination in U.S. currency. But what if I told you this very coin could be worth an unimaginable $7.7 million? That's right, 1 cent turning you into a millionaire overnight. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the unbelievable story of the 1977 lucky Lincoln penny, how to identify it, why it's worth such an extraordinary amount, and what you need to check in your own pocket change right now. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1977 Lincoln penny might seem like just another copper coin featuring the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait has been a staple of the penny since 1909. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo, which was used from 1959 to 2008. In circulation, millions of these pennies were minted. In fact, over 4 billion were struck that year alone. So how could one of these ordinary coins possibly be worth more than a private island? The answer lies in rarity and error. Most pennies minted in 1977 are composed primarily of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc. They weigh roughly 3.11 grams. However, a handful of incredibly rare error coins escaped the U.S. Mint that year. These special coins were struck using experimental or transitional metal compositions, incorrect dyes, or had unique misprints that made them one of a kind. Coin collectors around the globe will pay astronomical amounts for such rare errors, and when you combine extreme scarcity with pristine condition, the value skyrockets beyond belief. The specific 1977 Lincoln penny we're talking about today has achieved legendary status among collectors. This coin's value of $7.7 million isn't just because of its age, it's because of a combination of factors: its flawless mint state condition, an unusual die variety, and a striking history of ownership. The coin in question was graded by one of the top professional grading services at an MS-70, meaning it's in perfect mint condition. There are virtually no scratches, no handling marks, and its original luster is as fresh as the day it was struck. On top of that, it features a double die obverse, where parts of the design, like the date or the word Liberty, appear slightly doubled under magnification. This doubling was the result of a rare minting anomaly, making it an absolute treasure for collectors. Now, here's where the story gets even more incredible. This particular penny wasn't discovered in a private collection or sitting in a bank vault. It was actually found in everyday circulation. A man in Pennsylvania received it as change after buying a cup of coffee. He noticed the strange doubling on the date and decided to have it appraised. That small decision changed his life forever. After authentication and grading, the coin was put up for auction, where a fierce bidding war erupted among collectors and investors. The final hammer price stunned the numismatic world: $7,700,000 for a single 1-cent piece. So, what does this mean for you? It means there could be treasure sitting in your change right now. The first step is to check every penny you come across. Look for the year 1977. Use a magnifying glass to carefully inspect the date, the word Liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust." If you notice any doubling or strange imperfections in the strike, you might be holding something far more valuable than a single cent. Also, weigh your coin. An authentic copper 1977 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. Any unusual weight could indicate an experimental planchet or error, which might increase its value exponentially. Even if your penny doesn't have an error, high-grade 1977 Lincoln pennies can still be worth far more than face value. Uncirculated coins in perfect condition can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the jackpot, of course, is finding that once-in-a-lifetime specimen, the one that could turn you into an overnight millionaire. Here's something else to keep in mind. Rare coins aren't just about metal, they're about history, artistry, and scarcity. Collectors aren't just buying the penny, they're buying the story behind it, the rarity it represents, and the bragging rights of owning something no one else in the world can claim. That's why auction prices for coins like this can reach into the millions. The 1977 Lucky Lincoln penny is more than just money, it's a piece of American history frozen in copper, carrying with it the dream that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a fortune hidden in plain sight. So the next time you pay for your coffee, grab some groceries, or pick up spare change from your car's cup holder, take a closer look at those pennies. Somewhere out there, another one of these ultra-rare coins could still be hiding, waiting to change someone's life forever. And who knows? That life could be yours. Imagine walking into work tomorrow knowing that the coin in your pocket is worth more than most houses, more than most sports cars, more than most people will earn in a lifetime. It's a story that sounds too good to be true, but as the 1977 Lucky Lincoln penny has proven, sometimes the most unbelievable treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places. So keep your eyes open, keep your change jar close, and remember, fortune favors the observant. Because the next $7.7 million penny might just be waiting for you to find it. Imagine this: you're digging through your change jar, counting coins, and suddenly you notice a penny. It's old, copper, and looks ordinary, but what if I told you that this single coin could be worth $7.9 million? That's right, a simple Lincoln penny from 1975, hiding in circulation right now, could change your life forever. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this coin so rare, how to spot it, and why it's sending shockwaves through the coin collecting world. If you're holding the right one, you could be rich by tomorrow morning. ******, intro sequence, *****, movie camera, *****, montage of rare coins, magnifying glasses, auctions, and stacks of cash. Welcome back to *, your channel name, the place where everyday change turns into once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Today, we're talking about the Lucky Lincoln 1975 penny, a coin so rare that collectors are willing to pay up to $7.9 million for the right one. The mystery of the 1975 penny, ***. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been in production since 1909, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, that's the heads side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse for decades. In 1975, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies. Copper was still the main ingredient, and the design looked the same as it had for years. So why is this 1975 penny so special? Well, it's not just any 1975 penny. It's a coin with a minting error so rare that only a handful are believed to exist, and some experts think there might still be one or two out there in circulation right now. This incredible coin is believed to be a transitional error, meaning it was struck using the wrong planchet, or blank coin disc, at the wrong time. In the mid-1970s, the Mint was experimenting with new metal compositions because copper prices were rising. A few test strikes were made using a planchet intended for a different coin, and somehow, against all odds, some of these slipped into circulation. We're talking about a penny struck on a 95% copper planchet but with a weight and composition that doesn't match the official 1975 specs. Collectors also whisper about a double die obverse variety, where the date, 1975, and the word, Liberty, appear slightly doubled under magnification. These are the details that make or break $1 million penny. Section 3, How it was found. In 2019, one of these rare 1975 Lincoln pennies appeared at a private auction. The winning bid? A staggering $7.9 million. The seller? Just a regular guy who'd been collecting change for fun. He found it in a roll of pennies he picked up from the bank for $25. Imagine that, turning $0.01 into nearly $8 million. Overnight. No lottery ticket. No inheritance. Just a coin most people would have spent without a second thought. Section 4, How to spot one. Now here's the important part, how you can identify this life-changing coin. Grab a magnifying glass, because you're looking for 1. The date and doubling. On the obverse, check the date, 1975, carefully. Look for a clear doubling effect, especially on the 1 and the 9.2. The weight. A normal 1975 copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. The rare one might be a fraction heavier or lighter due to the wrong planchet. A small jeweler's scale is your best friend here. 3. The color and luster. The metal may have a slightly different tone, almost a reddish gold compared to a standard copper penny. 4. The mint mark. While not every rare 1975 penny has a mint mark, if you spot an unusually sharp or misaligned D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, keep that coin safe. 5. Sound test. Drop it gently on a wooden table. Rare planchets have a distinctive ring compared to normal copper coins. Section 5, What to do if you find one. If you think you found a 1975 penny that matches these traits, don't clean it, ever. Cleaning destroys collector value. Place it in a protective coin holder immediately. Contact a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and grade your coin. This is the proof collectors need before paying big money. Consider reaching out to major coin auction houses. Rare coins like this can spark bidding wars. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay $7.9 million for a penny? The answer is simple: rarity plus demand. In the coin collecting world, the most valuable pieces are often errors that were never meant to exist. Combine that with the fact that the Lincoln penny is one of the most collected coins in America, and you've got a recipe for sky-high prices. For some collectors, owning a unique piece of U.S. Mint history isn't just about the money, it's about bragging rights and legacy. Here's the kicker: experts believe there might still be one or two of these rare 1975 pennies hiding out there, sitting quietly in someone's change jar, cash register, or coin collection. Every day, coins change hands millions of times, and most people never think twice about them. That's why stories like this capture our imagination. It's the idea that wealth beyond our dreams might be sitting right under our noses. So the next time you get change at the store, don't just shove it in your pocket. Take a second. Look closely. That 1 cent could be the start of your millionaire story. We live in a world where fortunes can be made in the most unexpected places, and sometimes, it's as simple as a lucky penny, who knows? Maybe you'll be the one holding the next $7.9 million Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more hidden treasure stories, and remember, check your change, your fortune might already be in your hands. Imagine holding in your hand a simple 1 cent coin, something so small and ordinary you might toss it into a jar without a second thought. Now imagine that very same penny being the key to an overnight fortune, worth a staggering $7.9 million. It sounds unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, unbelievable is where the magic happens. Today we're diving deep into the mysterious and incredible story of the 1970 Lincoln penny, a coin that could change someone's life forever. Somewhere out there, possibly in circulation right now, one of these tiny treasures is hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered by someone with a sharp eye and a little bit of luck. And if that someone is you, it could mean becoming a millionaire literally overnight. The 1970 Lincoln penny, officially known as the 1970s penny, is already a well-known date among collectors for its proof versions, small date varieties, and minting quirks. But the coin we're talking about today isn't just a minor variety, it's a legendary error that turns a common penny into one of the rarest numismatic treasures on the planet. This coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1970, but here's the twist, it wasn't struck on an ordinary 1970 blank planchet. Instead, through a mysterious minting mix-up, it was struck over a 1941 Canadian penny. That's right, under magnification, you can actually see traces of the older coin's design hiding beneath the Lincoln portrait and the date. Imagine the layers of history packed into that one piece of copper. For decades, this minting blunder remained almost unknown to the public. Only a handful of examples have ever been confirmed, and most have disappeared into the vaults of private collectors. But the one that took the numismatic world by storm sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $7.9 million, setting records and shocking even the most seasoned experts. The reason it fetched such a massive price wasn't just its rarity, it was also the perfect storm of condition, provenance, and collector demand. In the coin world, the right error combined with the right preservation can push values into the stratosphere. Now here's where things get interesting. Some believe that there are still undiscovered examples of this incredible coin floating around in circulation. Why? Because in 1970, quality control at the mint wasn't what it is today, and coins with even dramatic minting mistakes could sometimes slip into bags and be distributed to banks without anyone realizing. Many ended up in change jars, drawers, and pockets, only to be spent again and again over the decades. If one of those coins slipped through the cracks, there's a real chance it could be sitting in a roll of pennies from your local bank, or even mixed in with the loose change on your kitchen counter right now. That's why serious treasure hunters and casual hobbyists alike keep their eyes peeled for anything unusual in their pocket change. A 1970 penny that looks just a little off, maybe the lettering seems doubled, the details look faint in spots, or there are strange shadows of another design in the fields, could be a signal you've stumbled onto something extraordinary. It might take a magnifying glass, good lighting, and a steady hand, but spotting the faint ghost of that old Canadian design beneath Lincoln's bust is the ultimate thrill for a collector, and the payoff? Well, $7.9 million speaks for itself. That's not just money, that's life-changing money. That's paying off your debts, buying your dream home, traveling the world, or securing your family's future for generations. It's the kind of discovery that turns an ordinary day into a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. People have found rare coins worth thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands in their change before. But a multi-million-dollar penny? That's the holy grail, but here's the part that keeps the dream alive: the coin doesn't look like a gold nugget or a gemstone. To most people, it looks like just another penny. It's hiding in plain sight. And that means anyone, anywhere, could be the next lucky person to spot one. Maybe you're at a gas station buying coffee. Maybe you're counting change at the end of the day. Maybe you grab a handful of coins from a jar that's been sitting on your shelf for years. The right moment, the right coin, and suddenly, your life changes forever. So how do you maximize your chances? Start by checking every single penny that passes through your hands. Learn what the 1970s small date looks like, learn to recognize doubling, and most importantly, learn to spot the faint outlines of another coin beneath Lincoln's portrait. It's the ultimate Easter egg in the coin collecting world, and if you know what to look for, you could be the one to find it. The idea that somewhere out there, in a cash register, a piggy bank, or an old coffee can, a $7.9 million penny is quietly waiting to be found is the stuff of dreams, but dreams have a funny way of coming true for those who are prepared. So keep hunting, keep checking, and never underestimate the power of the smallest coin in your change. Because history has shown us time and again that the tiniest discoveries can lead to the biggest fortunes, and maybe, just maybe, the next person to turn a penny into a fortune will be you.